Hi there, so Louis here. I'm at the Grand Chile Tasting in the horticultural halls. You can see full of people, and I grabbed out of the crowd, very young. You're almost blushing, Jade. You don't need to blush, it's okay. We're only talking about wine. That's okay, it's alright. Jade, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
And we're
Very
gonna...
happy to be here.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you're gonna take us through a few wines or something. 3 wines, maybe. Yeah?
So first, from Casa Silva,
Wait, let me see the bottle here.
is the Lolol Viognier 08.
Yeah. Okay.
And I went to see these guys in March, and Mario Gacy, the winemaker. And this Viognier, I think it's great sort of starter aperitif wine. Very kind of rose petals, quite hair droppy, but then I think the mid palate's got a lovely minerality to it. It's quite fat, it's quite a rich wine, which I think would go well with the white crab meat. You could even back it up a little bit with, I think, the brown crab meat as well, if you were going to do that as a starter.
Oh, okay. But a starter wine with like kind of light, shellfishy.
Quite meat. I think you could get away with quite meaty. You could even almost go scallops as well.
Oh, okay.
I think I do. Maybe scallops with something like like a parsnip puree, but quite a buttery, like rich.
Oh, excellent.
You know, like parsnip.
But like Viognier from Chile isn't.
Yeah.
I don't think of Viognier when I think of Chile.
And that's what I kind of came away from Chile earlier this year thinking, is that they're doing amazing things, but each vineyard has its own personality and is doing what they feel is good in their vineyards, rather than what necessarily the UK market is suggesting they do, or what necessarily the rest of the region's doing. They're all kind of going, this is what we think will work, this is what we're going to do. So you have Viognier, you have low alcohol Syrah, you have Cabernet Franc, you have Petit Verdot, you have all sorts of shenanigans going on, and they're all very different, very individual.
Oh, okay, excellent. On to the next one. Loma Larga.
Cabernet Franc, 2007.
Okay.
Casablanca. Okay. So
Now Cabernet Franc. You're going for all the antithesis Chilean wines.
Yeah, well, I find them all quite exciting.
Alright.
And I kind of think the most exciting winemakers are the ones that are sort of going all out there and doing these kind of things.
Yeah.
This, to me, is great fruit concentration. Those blackberries and currants, and it's kind of all the black and red berries kind of going on. It's not heavily, you don't feel the oak, I don't think, on the nose. It's doesn't come through immediately. It's kind of a lot of fruit. It's quite fat, but it's also got this kind of feral, dirty edge to it, but in a good way.
Feral?
Not in like a...
It is ferally.
But it's, it's quite, the tannins are quite fine and they're well structured, but then there's this lovely kind of brambly kind of rusticity to it. Which, it's an elegant wine, but it's got this kind of kick of personality at the end. So
it's not completely 100% clean, is what you're saying. And
and maybe something like venison would go quite nicely with it.
Yeah.
A nice kind of fillet venison with some, maybe like not cranberry sauce, because that's kind of a bit gay, but like a kind of berry kind of thing going on. I don't know, to bring maybe
venison with like
something like a brambly kind of. It's an elegant wine. It's a grown-up wine, and I think all of their wines actually they're not wines to drink young. They're wines for keeping.
Okay.
I think this will age really, really well.
Yeah.
2006 Casamarin Syrah.
Yeah.
What I find quite exciting about Casamarin is they do 2 reds, they do a Pinot and they do a Syrah.
Okay.
The Pinot is always like 15.5%, and yet the Syrah is 12, and I kind of find that quite interesting, and how you can manage to get a Syrah that's 12.5% when most of France can't do that.
You're being very nice by saying interesting, by the way, I think, personally. But anyway, that's all right.
So they pick the Pinot very early, which is why, late rather, sorry, that's how they get so ripe. But then the Syrah, I just find it very clean, very pure. I think it's got great minerality. I liked the 05 better. This is the 06 that we're tasting here. I tasted the 05 last night, and I actually think it's drinking better, so maybe it just needs a little time to settle. It smells big and kind of ballsy, and it's got a lot of fruit going on in it, and you can sort of feel the oak, but it's very well integrated, and then you taste it, and it's got this lovely sort of mineral notes to it, and it's quite clean, and it's very fresh. It's almost kind of old world Syrah rather than newer. It doesn't scream Chile to me. It doesn't scream anywhere remotely kind of hot and sort of sultry.
And so, what kind of food did you have this with? I mean, it's like it's a light Syrah. It's not like a heavy ridiculously oak bombed or anything.
It's kind of brambly and stuff like that. Maybe something gamey, some grouse,
Yeah.
possibly. Could go quite nicely with it. With
Oh, okay.
with maybe like some borlotti beans, like a stewy, sort of like almost like a cassoulet, but with grouse.
Oh, right, okay.
In some weird, wacky way. I don't
So
know
like a
quite how
bean grouse cassoulet. What would you call that?
Have the grouse.
Grousoulet.
Grousoulet, yeah.
Okay, let's have it with grousoulet.
But maybe the grouse not through it, but just sitting on the top of it.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that would work well.
What do you think of Chile, I guess, in general?
I think there's a very exciting buzz about it. I would like to see them sustain that and carry it forward. I think there was a lot of kind of soupy, syrupy, cheap end wines that like flooded in the supermarkets, and now they're all kind of, it's almost like they've all suddenly grown up and not, like, I don't mean that in a patronising way, but they've suddenly kind of found what's true to them in all the vineyards, all the wine makers.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of, instead of going, oh, what would Tesco's like, what would Sainsbury's like, they're kind of going, what do I like? And the wines have all got great, I got a identity and personality, and they're doing some crazy stuff and some stuff that will age very well, and I think it would be sad not to see Chile on any restaurant wine list, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I think it's well deserved of its place on restaurant wine lists at the moment, and
yeah.
it would be disappointing, I think, not to. I don't think you can afford not to, really, now. They've grown up a lot. I'm very impressed with what there is.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have a good afternoon, evening, whatever.